All right, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all honor, glory, and praises to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shah, by Hashem, Rakakadash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone who rule well and teach well. Shalom to the old like men that scattered abroad, pushing this truth with all sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth. And also shalom to very few sincere sisters that's taking heed and getting in order in these last days. I'm your brother Amawan, coming to the quick lesson, low one is edifying. Right, and here you have it, man. The love of many shall wax cold. Right, these are the times that we're coming into, and this right is on the small scale. You know, like we always like to mention, wait till they throw in food famine. You know, so this right is the end time headlines. It says, 11-year-old boy shoots and kills his father after Nintendo Switch taken away. Right, and you know, my guess is it got to be Edomite family. You know, because ain't no damn way, you know, a child, you know, put his own dad to, you know, to death because he got his game taken away. Hell, I know my parents, they would have goddamn shit, broke that motherfucker and dared me to goddamn, you know what I mean? But this is where we, you know, this is where we at with it, you know, just honestly, you know, the love of many shall wax cold, you know. So let me bring out the scripture, because, you know, the article gonna be the article, you know. I'll just read the first one. It says, an 11-year-old boy has been charged with homicide in the shooting death of his father in Perry County. Authorities said, you know, that's just that. But, you know, I'm just bringing out the scriptures as far as this is about to be a normal thing. You know, these about to be more frequent, you know, hearing about. I'm gonna read both versions. This is Matthew 24:12 in the KJV. And because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. Right. So what is going to be it's going to be growing. Right. Sin upon sin is going to be growing. You know, especially, you know, we were speaking about, was we at camp? I think it was at, can't remember if it was at camp or not. But just speaking about cannibalism, like, matter of fact, that's what I was thinking. It was Thursday camp. But just speaking about, you know, cannibalism and how you would have to be in that mindset to actually look at your child as a meal, or the child looking at their parent as a meal, you know, for the day or however long. You know, so with that mindset, that means you know that you got to put this person to flight, you know. And we come to the time period where you won't be able to trust nobody, man. You know. That is how things are about to be played out, right? Matter of fact, let me read the NLT version. It says sin will be rampant everywhere, and that's what's coming down the pipeline, right? Matter of fact, the book of Matthew 10 goes into it as well. I'm gonna finish off with that. It says sin will be rampant everywhere, and the love of many will grow cold, right? And we always go to this Greek word for wax cold. Suck you. It goes into what? Psycho, right? Real chaotic. You know, lost. You know, just pretty much them demons just gonna be attacking real heavy, man. You know, that's the time. That's the period that we coming into. You know, but let me get straight to this book of Matthew, chapter 10, and I'm gonna close out. And this only the beginning. You know, I just jump in front of them. They ain't talking about nothing. It's Matthew 10. Here we go. I think it's 34. If goddamn blue letter stop hanging on me. Yep, 34. Yep. And this is where we at with it, right? A lot of division. This is the book of Matthew chapter 10, verse 34. Think not that I'm come to send peace on earth. I came not to send peace, but a sword, right? And that's all you're going to see. We see that ramping up right now. Out there in Minneapolis, it's getting real ugly out there. You know, but the Lord is causing all of that. It says, for I'm come to set a man at variance, right? Pretty much at odds. For I am come to set a man at variance against his father, and the daughter against her mother, and the daughter-in-law against and the daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law. See, that's the Lord bringing in that division, man. You know, let's read on. It says, and a man's foe shall be they of his own household. Let's read this. Let's read that at the NLT. It says, your enemy, right? Your enemy, your enemies, will be right in your own household, right? And hey, that father had to find out. You know, he didn't FAFO with his own son. You know. But that's the time period that we in. You know, like I said, this was just something quick that I seen as a end time article. But yeah, this right is going to spiral. You know, not into just this household, but you know, a lot more households. You're going to see this, you know, start happening. A lot of, you know, parents taking out the child taking out the parents. Right. That's what's going to finna keep, you know, occurring up on these events. So Lord, when this lesson was edifying, I'm going to give our honor, glory, and praise to Yahweh, Shem Yahushua, by Shem Krakadash. Shalom.